Super Smash Flash 2 and Super Smash Bros. Crusade. Two great and probably very recognizable fan games that do share a couple of characters. We've looked at the 64, Melee, and Brawl characters. Some of you agreed with my takes, some of you brought the pitchforks. But now it is time for it to come to an end. It is time to look at the Smash 4 and fan game exclusive characters. That's what I'm going to be calling them for this video. You can call them whatever you want. The Sakurai didn't want them gang, the no invite gang, the maybe next time gang. If you haven't seen the previous two videos, they exist. You can go watch them if you want. But if you've already seen them, you know what the rules are. You know how this is going to go. Let's start with the robot.
Megaman versus
Megaman!
With how much material Megaman has, if these guys had the same moveset, I'd probably end the video right here, among other things. SSF2 Megaman is very similar to Ultimate Megaman, which wasn't always the case as this Megaman came out before he even got in Smash 4, but they decided to lean more into Ultimate side. However, there are some unique things with him. Some of those changes include this new forward air, which is a nice drill move, and his neutral air, which is a bunch of diamonds spinning around him. But let's get into that main course, let's get into the specials. The neutral special is
lemons.
Forward special remains the same as ultimate, but now you can decide when it blows up. For up special, Mega Man calls out B. Dang SF2, way to kick Rush to the curve, why don't you? But unlike on Rush, you can actually keep shooting while you're on B. And finally, the down special, which is a water move that travels along the ground. Now, this does replace Leaf Shield, which, do you hear me complaining? You're not gonna hear me complaining. F Leaf Shield. All my homies hate Leaf Shield. I feel like a lot of the changes they did to Ultimate Mega Man for this moveset would just take out, I don't know, the lemon, and the lemon, because Ultimate really likes him doing lemons. Don't get me wrong, I get it. A lot of Mega Man's gameplay is him jumping around and shooting them, but I mean, that did not need to be his neutral, man. But you will not hear me complain about this on the SK Harrison channel. I like this change. It makes him a more interesting zoner. Now let's look at Crusade, who also believed that lemon spam was a good way to get yourself no friends. So they decided to change a couple of moves, for example, jab. His down air is also changed to be this giant spike ball, as if Mega Man's down air needed to be better. He also gets a slow start powerful finish rock move, and he has a new dash attack. Okay, pretty alright. Now let's look at the specials. Neutral special is
Lemons.
Thigh Beast is very quick lunge forward. When it connects, you get a massive explosion. Our doggo is back for the up B, and he's not playing around. This time, he's the one flying. But wait, do my eyes deceive me? That's a long time for him to be in the air. I wonder how far you could take that. Naturally, this resulted in me testing out multiple ways to get back to the stage, as far away as I could. And yeah, Mega Man's recovery is pretty good. Up B can already get you pretty far, but if you combine it with an air dodge or a side B, yeah, the only way you're kissing the blast zone is if you're at a high enough percent, or you just decide to SD. You will never be far away enough to where you can't get back to stage. It's generally impossible. What's that? You don't like playing the video game? Well, don't worry. All you have to do is camp under the stage, and you don't have to. Back to the moves. Leaf Shield is back, but it only has a hitbox when you throw it. It does stop projectiles, though. Yeah, that's right, you better pick a new character. Crusade's Final Smash is different, but I mean, come on, man. You ain't beating this beauty. Yeah, with all things considered, I'm gonna have to give this one to SSF2, which might be shocking for some. Mega Man in my mind will always be a zoner. I feel like that just makes the most sense for his character, and SSF2 does it to a less annoying degree. Crusade kinda just removes the projectiles entirely. He only really has the lemons and the leaf shield. And while that's not terrible, I found myself having more fun with SSF2's version.
Ryu versus
Ryu!
Alright guys, say it with me. Ryu and SSF2
really
has the same... Okay, stop. What the hell was that? Ryu and SSF2 is just Smash 4 Ryu. He literally does the same stuff. Command inputs to boot too. But I will let you off the hook this time. It just makes sense for Ryu to do the same stuff he already does in his original game in this one. Like, what was there to change? Alright, SSF2 team, I'm feeling that Ryu's moveset is kinda lacking, so instead of doing the Hadouken, we're gonna give him the gun from Fortnite. Now, Crusade Ryu is a little bit of a different story. He's still roughly the same. You're getting your Hadouken, you're getting your Tatsumaki, you're getting the Shoryuken. Nothing's changing in that department. However, this version of Ryu has EX moves. If you quickly tilt the stick and do the special, you'll get an EX version of the move. And I gotta say, this is a very interesting way of implementing them, but I don't hate it. The sexy as hell arrow returns, but yeah, don't get your hopes up on anything crazy. It's just another Final Smash, which Ryu already had 2, so you're just getting the 3rd one. Which is still cool, but it's not the best the arrow has done for us. Now I actually want to bring it back to the command inputs, because SSF2 and Crusade actually feel different when you input them. SSF2 worked best when I did the input and then pushed the button, which is how it's usually supposed to go. Granted, I didn't land all of these, but as you can see, I did get some of them. Crusade only really worked whenever I did the button and the input simultaneously, which... Again, this one's probably the most subjective part of the character. You're either going to be good at the inputs or you're not. I was like 45% getting them. And just in case you come at me saying, "Oh, SK, you're just doo-doo water at command inputs," I'll have you know, you're right. But again, it all just depends on the game. This one is very close, but I'm going to have to give this one to SSF2. The EX move thing is really cool, but the command input thing is really hindering the score. And no, Ryu cannot tag in his assist, Evil Ryu, to help bump up the score, not allowed. But I am happy he's here.
Pacman versus
Pacman!
SSF2 Pacman, and I'm so glad this is the last time I need to say it, is the exact same as Smash 4 and Ultimate. In terms of what moves he does, it's all copy and paste. He does the Hydrate, he does the Fruit, he does the Pellet, he does the Trampoline. It's all there. But here's where things get interesting. Crusade's Pacman is entirely original. Unfortunately, it wasn't the Drug Pacman moveset. We lost. So this is definitely going to be a Ganon situation. SSF2 is going the safer route and just going with mostly what Ultimate did. But Crusade is doing her own thing. Here's the problem with that. Unlike Ganon's Smash moveset, I actually really like Pacman's. It's ironic, because I joke about how SSF2 loves to play it safe, but the funny thing is, they're usually right to do so. Smash 4's Pacman is one of the most amazing movesets in the game. Honestly, it's so creative and leads to tons of cool stuff. You have multiple different types of fruit, you have fruit regrabbing, you have hydrate setups, you have trampoline setups. The Hydra can bounce off the trampoline setups. You have fruit that can get pushed by the water and hit the trampoline setups. This character can be either one of the most hype or lamest characters ever. Because all the things I just mentioned are really cool things Pacman can do, but they're very high level things that not a lot of them will do. Best case scenario, you're gonna get a Pacman that probably knows how to regrab fruit. Worst case scenario, he's gonna put a hydrant down and sit behind it. So let's do something different with this comparison. We're going to compare them simultaneously. Let's see what both of them have to offer here. Crusade's neutral special is you eat the person and it flings them behind you. SSF2 is the fruit. You get multiple different types. I don't hate this change, I don't love it either. Also, spoiler alert, all the fruit must have died in Infinity War because they're gone. This Pacman has no projectile, so you know what that means. Crusade Side B is a Looney Tunes run. He can charge it up and you go flying. SSF2 Side B is the pizza eating balls. Both work for the type of Pacman they're going for, so I don't hate either one, but in my opinion, it kind of just makes more sense for him to be, you know, eating balls as a Side B. Not elaborating on that last part, Crusade's up special is the nom nom nom, he's eating balls, while SSF2's is the trampoline. Okay, so we lose the setups. We also lose probably one of the best recoveries in this game, Smash 4 and Ultimate, but I'm not that mad about this one. Then everything changes when the down B attacks. Crusade's down B is literally Pac-Man looking at you, questioning what the hell is going on. A look appears on the screen, Dora the Explorer style, and then Pac-Man, if he is close enough to the enemy, will run straight for them, scared for his life. The only thing I could think of when this move popped up was, why does he need another dashing move? He already has one. I get it's a reference, but the move itself is just kind of weird. I mean, you're probably not going to hit it most of the time, because if you hit it and you're not close to the enemy, Pac-Man just looks stupid. It's also not really a good kill option. You're most of the time going to miss it if they're in the air, and even if you do hit them, I feel like the side B is just the better option. Now let's look at SSF2's down B, the Hydrant. What a fantastic stage control. The water pushes not only the player, but Pac-Man as well, so you can do some insane things if you set it up right. And of course, we can't forget that Pac-Man can launch the Hydrant at the opponent, but the opponent can also launch it at Pac-Man, so, you know, it's a double-edged sword, it's pretty cool. All in all, Crusade Pac-Man is not bad, but he lacks the excitement that SSF2 Pac-Man brings to the table. He becomes a more simple character, but at the cost of losing things that made him interesting in the first place. If I had to give one move from the Crusade moveset to the SSF2 one, it'd be the down air. This is an amazing down air. Now it is an SD down air, but Pac-Man has the trampoline, so he could just put down the trampoline, hit down air, and he'd bounce up. It'd be fine. And you could even use it to gimp people. Say you're Pac-Man and the other player is off stage. You hit the trampoline and you down air on it twice, turning the trampoline red, getting back to stage. Meanwhile, the opponent still has to get back to stage and oh no, they hit the trampoline and they die. Come on, you're telling me you wouldn't pop off if that happened at Genesis 11? But anyway, I'm giving this to SSF2. And that's it, every single Smash 4 character that they both shared, compared. And it's the first, and probably only, time that there's been a clean sweep. 3 wins for SSF2, 0 for Crusade. Which makes our total so far 16 to 12. Again, another reminder why we're skipping Ultimate for this comparison video. They don't share any Ultimate characters. Believe me, they have them, but not the same ones. And now, finally, we are at the part I've been most anticipating since I started this series. The fan game exclusive characters. This is the section where we truly get to see how good SF2 and Crusade are at making their own original movesets. Now we have seen Crusade's attempt at an original concept for a character, that being Ganondorf. Mixed reception to say the least. That being said, I do like reading you guys' comments about different takes I have on the characters and seeing your opinions on them. Very nice stuff to read. I mean, your opinion's bad, die. But now, Smash Bros. Can barely help you in this section. Some of these characters are assist trophies, some of them have never touched Smash Bros., and some of them probably never will. So let's finish this, starting with
Waluigi
versus
Waluigi!
probably a very high contender for the next Smash game is everyone's favorite assist trophy, Waluigi. SSF2 Waluigi is very fascinating. He's like Mario, Luigi, and Wario all put together in a purple stew, but he has a lot of stuff that makes him his own unique character. From dance moves Michael Jackson can't outdo on a good day, to the stylish way he performs his moves, to even his original assist move, the iconic Stomp, being nothing more than a simple down tilt. Let's look at his specials, starting with the make or break of Mario Party, the Dice Block. Very similar to Mr. Game & Watch, this Dice Block can either be a nice love tap or a contest slap. 1 is a dud, 2 is some wind that can either aid or hinder your opponent, 3 is some poison, I have a good idea what some of the ingredients might be, 4 is a big stun move, 5 is a spiking move, and the one you're aiming for, number 6, which is a massive explosion. I've seen some people say that Waluigi or Daisy in Ultimate should have been the side game representation. The party games, the sports games, all should have had one character represent them. And I'm glad they're doing that in F-Step 2. Side B is very similar to Luigi's, but it actually homes in. Up B is also very similar to the 3, but it's not the start of the move you want, not even the middle, it's the end. And for his down special, he pulls out a Piranha Plant. Who's the assist now, you little shit? If the opponent gets too close to Piranha Plant, he'll throw off the pass to Waluigi for something very cool. And just look at the final smash, a very clear reference to Mario Strikers. Back when it was cool. Who said that? I really love what SF2 did here. It makes Waluigi fit right at home in the game with the other 3, but he still has his own unique stuff that just makes him, you know, Waluigi. Crusade Waluigi is interesting, but not in a bad way. Some things that I really like in this moveset are the back air and the glide he has. This Waluigi also has the stomp and some tennis representation as well. Speaking of tennis, that's his neutral special, a tennis shot. Waluigi throws the ball up in the air and you have to time the shot. The better the timing, the better the impact. The only problem I have with this move is that the animation doesn't translate very well in the air. If you jump up and do it in mid-air, it looks very weird and the timing's a bit off. Like, no homie, you didn't hit that. Go check the tapes. Then we get to side special. To sugarcoat it, it's lacking. To not sugarcoat it, it's trash. I get bombs are a major deal in the Mario series, but come on, you couldn't think of something better? Up special is... Down special also brings out a plant, but this time it's shooting fireballs like it usually does. I think both have really interesting ideas for Waluigi, but I gotta give it to SSF2. The dice block is just such a nice way to bring in Mario Party representation, and the final smash is just really good. Crusades... Yeah, no, you're not cooking with this. Yeah, Crusade also has a vine move, but... Yeah, no... And again, I really like the neutral special, but in the air, it just gets very complicated. Like, the animation needs to change for that. But overall, both are solid. Now it's your turn, Sakurai.
Krystal
Versus...
Krystal.
From one assist trophy to another, it's time to talk about Krystal. And let me just say, SSF2 Krystal is very fun. She has some really interesting normals, such as this dash attack, where if you hit it, it turns around the opponent and you, so you can just bounce them back and forth between dash attacks. It's very fun to do. For her special, she doesn't do no laser spamming. Ew, gross. She uses the sniper, which depending on who you ask is also twice as gross. But the only thing gross about it is the amount of range it has. Have fun trying to get back to stage. Side B is similar to the other Star Fox homies, but instead it goes downward in the air. Up special is a staff rocket, and down special is grenades. Yeah, I bet this looks fun, huh?
Having fun yet?
And she also has a really good final smash. Definitely a fan of what SF2 did here. Now let's turn our attention to Crew. Whoa. Whoa. My, how have tables turned the? Crusade's crystal ults are... Okay, that's usually a SSF2 problem, not much a Crusade one, but let's see what the character... Crusade? I just have one simple question to ask you. Does that look like the character select screen picture to you? Okay. Looks are not everything. Personality is what matters. Let's check out the moveset. Maybe it slaps. Her normals are pretty basic. She has a hard-hitting back air and a looping down tilt. Whoever thought this was a good idea, congratulations, you get a free copy of Marvel's Avengers for the PS4. Neutral special is Laser Blast. Side B is Staff Toss. It's like K. Rool's, but sadder. However, it is my favorite move in her kit. Reminds me of a certain someone. Up B is, I don't know, Beast Mode. And down special is Stun Gun. Her final smash is this cool sword move. Gonna just go all in and say this is from Adventures.
Huh?
This character does not just need a sprite rework. It needs a whole ass overhaul. Come on, Crusade, I know you can come up with a banger original moveset for Krystal. I mean, come on, she's from the one game where you're not in the ship 90% of the time, though I don't know how much you want to take from that one. But still, this one goes to SSF2.
Bomberman.
Versus
Bomberman.
Last Assist Trophy, it's Bomberman. SSF2 Bomberman is a simple setup character. His normals are just him punching and kicking, but he does have a giant head, and it is used for a bit of juggling. Neutral special is... Guys, help. You can throw the bomb or just place it down, but he can only have 5 out at a time. This is the baby bomb, this is the mommy bomb, and the big P daddy bomb. I said what I said. With down B, he can let him rip, and with side B, he can kick him. Don't worry, this move can also be used to attack as well. You see what's happening here, right? All the moves kind of go back to the bombs. You're setting up the bombs, kicking them in position, throwing them in position, making sure they're in the right spot to blow up on your opponent's face. His up special is a jetpack that sends him flying up into the air. But I gotta say, my favorite part about him is the final smash. For it, he calls up his friend Oppenheimer and literally nukes your... Crusade Bomberman goes in the same direction with the normals, but a different one in the specials. Neutral special has him pull out a bomb and kick it, and the bomb explosion looks like the one from the game. But don't get too carried away, you can get hurt by the bombs as well. Side B is an electric bomb. It will do more damage if you get the actual hit of the bomb, but you can get some itty bitty damage from the field. Up B has him launch himself with a bomb, and down special has him place a bomb. It can even be placed in the air. Old school Spider-Man swing logic, I guess. Hey, go Bomberman, I got you! SSF2 and Crusade Bomberman both have very similar final smashes. You're going to be dropping bombs with both of them. Also, the Crusade Bomberman has a squeaky Japanese voice. I mean, yeah, how am I gonna hate that? I'm gonna have to give this one to Crusade. Not just for the Japanese voice, I swear. I love the way the bombs are used in this one more than just a simple setup character. Not that that's a bad thing, I just prefer this style for Bomberman. And you still have that setup nature with his down B, so it kinda just works more in Crusade.
Tails.
Versus...
Tails.
SSF2 Tails is pretty cool. He takes from some of the fighting games and his couple of main star appearances, but for his moveset, gadgets is where it's at. For example, his deadly but slow neutral special, and his walking robo up special. That's right, he doesn't have a traditional up special, because this is Miles Tails' mother effing prower. What? It's true. And then we have Side B, probably my favorite move in his kit. It's a launching move, and if it connects, he'll fly with you and kick you. And yes, you can do this off stage. And yes, you can do it in the blast zone. And yes, it does give me the greatest high. And finally, down B is the move you all know and love. Unless you play Ultimate, you probably hate this move on a weekly basis. The tornado appears for his final smash, and when it flies past, it can drop bombs as well, which is pretty cool. All in all, Tails in SF2 is pretty solid. Too bad he sucks.
This hot garbage.
Ignoring tier list, of course. Again, he's a fun character. Crusade Tails is pretty similar to SF2 Tails. This is because they kind of had the same idea of, hey, there's already fighting games with these characters in them. Let's take some of that. And at first, I thought Neutral Special was the exact same blaster. But oh boy, was I wrong. The main difference between this one and SF2's is that this one bounces, and it lasts longer. Which means that yes, Tails can run with the ball. If you hold the special button, you get a different gadget. One is a mouse droid that walks around and explodes, again similar to SF2's, and one is a capsule that stuns. By the way, the mouse, the capsule, and the ball can all be out at the same time. Yay! Side B is similar to SF2's, which I'm happy about, because this move slaps. This Tails has multi-jumps similar to SF2, But his up special is a traditional one. He spins in the air before gliding back down. Finally, we have down special, the flicker. This homie is pretty based. Not only will he flick the opponent, he'll also flick your projectiles and their projectiles. Look at that thunder go! This move almost reminds me of something that would be in Rivals of Aether. Though, I feel Rivals of Aether would have it connect to way more things. His final smash is the mech from the adventure games. This makes sense and is decent, but I'm more of a fan of the tornado. Yeah, I'm gonna give this one to Crusade. 3 items on the stage at once is a little obnoxious, but the flicker is a really cool mechanic, and he has basically a lot of the stuff that the other Tails has. And if you want to play devil's advocate for all the items he has on stage, technically Tails' whole thing is that he's the gadget guy, he's the smart dude, he's the mechanic. He should have a bunch of gadgets flying at ya. So, yeah, I think Crusade accomplished that.
Rayman.
Versus...
Rayman.
Time for the Ice Cube himself, Rayman. Now, you could probably guess this, but Rayman in SSF2 has a lot of range, even rivaling the Gum Gum Man himself. His combos with this range are insane, and his specials have a bit of range too, starting with his neutral special, Lockjaw. If you're caught by it, you'll be sent upwards. Speaking of upwards, Side Special does the same thing, launching a tornado from downtown. Up Special is his classic helicopter spin. But wait a minute, he's not getting a lot of vertical height with that. That's because SSF2 decided to add another move to help you get back to stage. And this move is probably one of the most unique things I've seen on a character. For Rayman's down special, he pulls out a giant plum. If you're on top of the plum and you hit it, you can ride the plum anywhere on the stage. Up, down, left, right, it doesn't matter, as long as you hit it in the right direction. You can also use it to hit your opponents as well, but be careful because they can also get on top of the plum as well. And if that happens, let's just say not having a game in a couple of years is going to be the least of Rayman's problems. But this move is very fun to use, probably my favorite on his kit. Crusade has the long range and Lockjaw's on side B this time, but everything else is different. Neutral B is a big punch. You can walk around while charging it too. Up special has Rayman ride some lums for a kick. And down special is... yeah, that's definitely Rayman getting his revenge for being on the shelf for a while. Let's talk about the final smashes. For SSF2, a bug homie comes out and does some sucking, as most good homies do. And some shooting, as most good homies do. For Crusade, Rayman and his homies deliver an all-out attack, and then it turns into a raging demon. An old school one, I guess, where you can't really see what's going on. I like this move, but it doesn't have an end stinger. You know how Akuma has his iconic logo on his back as he's standing there, and Joker has the cool pose at the end with the nice art? Yeah, Rayman doesn't get that. In the end, I'm gonna give this to SSF2. The down B steals the show, and while Crusades is good, it's nothing groundbreaking.
Black Mage.
Versus...
Black Mage.
Gotta say, it's interesting that SSF2 and Crusade both picked Black Mage to be the Final Fantasy rep. I would have assumed that one of them would have went with the protagonist like Cloud or Terra, but I guess they both had the same idea that Black Mage is the Chad. In SSF2, Black Mage is exactly what you think he'd be. A Black Mage. They packed in a ton of references to Final Fantasy, from the sound effects to the chocobo to the cactar, it's all here. I haven't really been talking about the intros during this series, but I just love Black Mages. It's literally him coming off the character select screen, that's awesome. And don't think those characters are just there for show, they come back in the final smash. One of my favorite moves on this kit has got to be the down air. It's a nice scythe swing, but if you're able to nail it at the right point, well, let's just hope your opponent can tech. Oh yeah, and if you do get hit off stage when this move is about to begin, you might want to hurry back. But let's talk specials. Neutral special is this stunning move. The longer the charge, the longer the stun. Side B is this dashing move that has Black Mage go all out, but it does have a small window. Up B is a teleport, and down B is Meteor. I guess Final Fantasy VII got represented after all. The longer you hold the down B, the higher the rock goes. A very nice move for edgeguarding. This is just one big love letter to classic Final Fantasy. I absolutely love it. Crusade Black Mage also has spells, but they're pretty basic. They're your usual fire, ice, lightning, wind, and not a chocobo kicking you in the face. Neutral special is Black Mage's most iconic move.
The Kamiyamama.
Side B is a water geyser spell. Up B is still teleport. Down B is a slow down field. Push it once and it'll put down a little field. Push it twice and it'll activate. Why they made it like this, I have no idea.
It's not just a call. It's a warning.
Final Smash is... Oh sorry, I fell asleep. This one's just basic, man. It's kinda crazy that I think this is one of the only times where Crusade feels like the safer take than the SSF2 one. Well, almost safer. Whoever decided that he needed a frame 1 jab on his moveset, who hurt you? I gotta give it to SSF2, man. You can tell they had just as much fun making this moveset as I had playing it. Crusades is not bad, but not impressive.
Goku.
Versus...
Goku.
And finally, last, but certainly as hell not least, the #1 most requested 4th party character to get in Smash Bros. Son Goku. I love the fact that Goku's in both these games, man. He's the biggest flex that these are fan games. We can get wild. I get why Sakurai does it, keep it a video game hall of fame. That's fine, I'm cool with that. But man, you know how hype it would be tuning into Nintendo Direct and Goku is beating up Mario? And while we're on that topic, I understand the hate for the anime characters in SF2. There are 5 of them and they could have been actual video game characters. But come on, man. There is not an official platform fighter out there right now where you can have Monkey D. Luffy fighting Pikachu, Ichigo fighting Lloyd Irving, Goku fighting Lucario. It doesn't exist, and that's why I love fan games so much. We can get wacky. So in conclusion, about Mr. Incredible, Goku in SF2 is all about some hard-hitting combos, and he has a float to help out with them. Of course, a lot of these moves are references to things he's done in the anime and the manga, starting with his neutral special, the Kamehameha. But between you and me, I think he stole that one from Black Mage. It can be charged, and it can be done in midair. Side B is a couple of key blasts. These can be shot in midair as well. I remember hearing complaints about this move saying, oh, this is more of a Vegeta move, why is he doing this? Goku can do this as well. But I do understand that the rapid key blast thing is more of a Vegeta thing. Up special is instant transmission. He does a kick before it happens so you can kick the person, instant transmission to where they're about to be, and kick them again. Finally, the down special, Kaioken. When you hit the opponent with this move, Goku becomes supercharged. He's faster, he's stronger, and he even gets a new jab. But uh-oh, be careful. Goku's taking damage in this state, so you probably don't want to do it, you know, when you're at really high percent. Unless you know, you're built different. And come on, we can't talk about SSF2 Goku without talking about his final smash. Holy crap, this goes hard! Also, this might be a bit off topic, but I found it pretty interesting. Every single anime character in this game, all their normals and their special moves, are really early things in the series. Take for instance Goku. The latest move he learned in this moveset is instant transmission. I'll even slide in a bit of Naruto in there. Naruto's latest move is the Rasengan. I don't know, I guess I'm just used to anime fighters spoiling everything about the character the second I push the special button. So all in all, this is a pretty good version of Goku. Until we look at his ultra! Yes, I am aware Goku is about to get ults in a later patch. It's coming, they teased it, we know. But until that happens, ew. Crusade has a lot of the same moves, even having the float, but it does have a couple of different moves, such as down tilt, up tilt, and forward smash. A lot of his specials are also the same, but with a few changes. Let's start with the Kamehameha. In Crusade, you can actually tilt this version up and down. You can also cancel the Kamehameha, unlike in SSF2. His side B is completely different. It has him launch straight towards you, which I find better. Up B is the same, it just doesn't have the kick, and down B is instant. But that's not the only thing down B can do. If you get to a certain percent with Goku, a little icon will appear on the top of it. That's right, Goku can go Super Saiyan. This of course makes him stronger, and he even gets a new Nair with it. The final smash is a nice barrage followed up by a Spirit Bomb. It's alright. But what if we want to go
Even further beyond!
Alright, now we're talking. And just in case you ask where the other forms are, oh, they're here. If you pick the Super Saiyan God ult, you actually transform into Super Saiyan Blue. And if you do the final smash in Super Saiyan Blue, you get Ultra Instinct. Granted, it's not an Ultra Instinct-like move, but hey, you still get it. Alright, with all that being said, which one's better? SSF2 Goku or Crusade Goku? Doesn't matter, Uncle Ben. Rivals Workshop Muno Goku is better than both of them. Okay, for real, Crusade takes this one. Don't get me wrong, SSF2 Goku's final smash deserves an Oscar. But Crusade to me does what SSF2's does, but a tad bit better. I like what Crusade did with the side B, and I like the tilt a bit more too. But don't get it twisted, both of these Gokus are amazing. And that is it. Every single character they both share, complete. We leave the fan exclusive section with SSF at 4 and Crusade at 3. Now it is time for the grand total. Here's your winner with a grand total of 20-15, Super Smash Flash 2. This was insanely close, man. Just 5 more characters that Crusade did better and we would have had a tie. But in the end, SSF2 just had way more characters that I preferred, whether they were more fun or did the moveset better than Crusade. Some of these characters were insanely hard to compare which one was better to which, and I highly encourage you to play both games. They're absolutely amazing. Just for fun, I would like to do a what if scenario. Let's say I had the power to pick which character they were to share again. Basically, I'm just picking a character I would like to see the other game tackle. For Crusade, I would love to see their version of Sora. Sora has a ton of games to reference and a ton of moveset potential that I don't think Smash Ultimate or SSF2 went fully in depth on. While both of them are good, I'd be interested to see if Crusade could do it better. And for SSF2, I would love to see their version of Shantae. Not only would this give them an indie rep for their roster, but Shantae is another character with a ton of stuff to reference. It'd be interesting to see how they do her. Thank you for everyone who stuck around to this long freaking video and who watched the other videos. This was an amazing series to do. Also, if you're interested, I do have a second channel. It's going to have smaller videos or big reaction videos or just whatever I'm feeling like doing that day. But it's going to have more videos than the main channel because the main channel is getting big beefy videos like this one. So if you're interested, check it out. Again, thank you for continuing to support the content. Thank you for watching this video. And that's it. See you all in a couple of years when all these characters get revamped and my opinion changes. Bye!